I wanted to come on here and do a video about what just recently happened involving Simone Biles. In case y'all did not know, she decided that she is going to bow out for the remainder of the Tokyo Olympics for the gymnastics portion due to her not being in the right space mentally. Now, the first time they had reported this, they said it was some kind of an injury, and we know if that was the case, that would have, we wouldn't have been shocked by that because doing gymnastic has to be hell on your joints. I mean, like you can look and tell that they put their body through a lot of turmoil just to make sure they get those maneuvers just correct. But then it came back and was saying that she needed to get in her right mental space because she felt it was a lot of pressure for her to win in these Olympic Games, especially with her having the title of being the greatest gymnast of all time. And also with that, Naomi Osaka, she also is out of the Olympics as well because she was representing for Tokyo. Now I don't know if she did the same thing Simone did or if she lost and she's just not being able to go forward in the competition in her sport, which is tennis. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because it seems, and I knew this was going to happen. When I found out that she was leaving out of the competition or she was leaving out of the Olympics, I said, I already know what the response was going to be from a certain group of people and the usual suspects. I don't even have to, I'm probably going to mention them sometime in this video. And that was seeing comments from them. And I knew they was going to say this, they were trying to say, oh, they overhyped her, for someone who has the title of GOAT or the greatest of all time, she sure isn't acting like it. Why isn't she doing this and why is she doing that? I knew that was going to happen, but this plays into a bigger narrative when it comes to black people in athletics, or black people in general, but especially in athletics, that we have to be the symbol or sign of perfection. Like for us, it's almost like there's no room for error. If we mess up, then the whole world is literally thrusted down onto our head. And it's almost like we have to lift everything else up. But the minute we slip up, there is no better luck next time or you did your best. See you, in the next Olympics, see you in 4 years in Paris and everything like that. No, it's, oh, I knew she was overhyped. They should have not thrown the greatest of all time title behind her and all types of stuff. That's what I kept seeing. And I knew those kinds of comments were going to come. It's just amazing how like a light switch, they could turn off or turn away from you like literally in the blink of an eye. That is exactly why I refuse to do any type or heavy lifting for this society, for PC in particular, specifically, because you're not going to stress me out and push me to be your little image of perfection. And to take a break a little bit on Simone Biles, I'm going to go to Naomi Osaka. When I found out she, either lost or, whatever her case may be, I was sitting here saying to myself, that's ammunition for Megyn Kelly. Because, they got into it a little back and forth on Twitter. What was it, last week or something like that? And Naomi Osaka saying that she didn't really want to talk to the media like that because she was going through the same thing as well. But that goes also back to the narrative that black people's mental health and mental stability in America is not taken seriously. It's taken lightly and as a joke. Yet you have all these palm-colored domestic terrorists can run up into buildings, school or otherwise, and shoot them up, and then they'll throw out, oh, they had a mental illness. They ain't had no goddamn mental illness. Which mental illness did they have? There's dozens of mental illnesses around like that are listed and available. Which one is it? And can you show proof that they are actually diagnosed with what they've been with what particular mental illness? Because there is a lot of times when black people get into predicaments and they actually have a mental illness and they'll tell you what it is and it still doesn't save them. And I can understand what she means by that when she says she had a lot of pressure on her because all eyes when it comes to gymnastics is on her. That's a lot of weight that she has to carry. It's not like it's spread evenly or amongst the other girls that are there with her. Because I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't even tell you the names of the other ones that she was competing with. Like, the only one I knew of was her. It's not like when she came in after when Gabby Douglas was, doing her thing, and then Simone came in, and then you knew who they were, and you knew a little bit about the other girls that was on the team. But with Simone, she literally stood out. And I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I think she was the only black girl on the team. I could be wrong. I'm not going to say she was the only non-white female on the team, but I think she was the only black girl on the team, because I think it was another melanated girl on the team, but I don't think she's black though. So that's even more pressure and everything like that. And like I said, USA, when it comes to these Olympics, they love to win. So the fact that she bowed out, and I think they said they got silver or something like that before she decided to leave, that just means their odds of getting gold are very slim now, because they were banking on her to do it. And that's actually echoing something that I've said before when it came to Sha'Carri Richardson and her situation. They got mad at her for what she did, because they knew through her they were going to get gold. But now, because of what happened with what she did, they probably like, we're not going to get it. We're probably going to lose to the Jamaicans, because they were her and that other Jamaican, I forget her name. I think her name is Shelly Ann Price. If someone can correct me down in the comments, they said that it really came down to those two. But now that Sha'Carri's not in it anymore, they're a shoo-in to win, and USA might get silver. So that's really, in my opinion, why they are mad at her. It's not because they care about her mental health, because if it was, they wouldn't be saying the stuff that they say. It's because they felt that through her they were going to get the gold, but because she's caring more about her mental health instead of some gold medal that she can always come and bounce back from, they are up. They're mad. And you got to think, these athletes were supposed to compete last year, but due to COVID, it put everything on hold. So a lot of them had to go through a lot of stressful, it gave them an extra year to train, but under some very harsher conditions. They couldn't really train the way that they wanted to. They had a lot of restrictions. And then they had to cram and get ready for this. While you got to think, they're also performing during a pandemic. That's added stress. And then she also was not able to perform in front of her family, because remember how I said in the video that they were not allowing a lot of huge crowds to be in those arenas because of the virus. They didn't want to take the risk. That's why I said that they should just scrap the entire Olympics this year and pick it back up in 4 years in Paris. That's what I said. That's what plenty of other people have said. So that could play another role, that maybe she didn't have her support system there, which was her family. They said they had to watch her virtually from home. They could not, as far as I know, I don't even think they're over there in Tokyo with her right now. They're still in Texas, watching on the streaming platform like everybody else. So you really got to take all of that into consideration, but they don't do it. I'm looking at the comments, and I should be shocked. I mean, I should not be shocked. I'm not shocked, but it just disgusts me at the end of the day. And I'm allowed to actually feel that way, because like I said, as black people, we have a lot of pressure on us to propel this image of perfection that we know we cannot give. There's no such thing as the perfect person. There's no such thing as the perfect human being. There's no such thing as the perfect athlete. Simone Biles, while she is a GOAT, and she still is, she has her flaws, and she knows that. But when you have pressure to be perfect, this is what happens. It reminds me of this movie called Black Swan with Natalie Portman. And some of y'all probably heard of it and may have seen it. And she was basically a ballet performer at a school, and she was up for a part in that ballet performance based off of the title of the movie. And she wanted to perform the Black Swan as well as the White Swan, good and bad. And she was aiming for so much perfection that it literally drove her insane. She literally became bipolar. She started seeing things and hearing things and all kinds of stuff, to the point, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, but you can still watch it. At the end of the movie, she ended up killing herself, thinking she killed her rival. It's a very dark movie, but it's a very good movie too. That's probably one of her best performances. But yeah, Simone Biles, this is not going to throw her off. People think that, oh, because she has the title of greatest of all time and she's doing this and right now that she's done. Excuse me? How many gold medals has she won? How many world championships has she won? How many impossible maneuvers did she pull off that nobody else could do? And you think that by her doing this one thing, that's somehow going to strip her of, her GOAT status? No, that's not happening. And I had intentions to actually read the article, but I said I had to come off the fly with this one. Sometimes you get passionate about some certain topics and you just have to speak from the heart. This is where this is coming from. Like, I didn't want to read, like I said, I was going to read the article, but I opted not to because these PC characters, man, they piss me off when they do stuff like this. And it doesn't just happen with her. Look at all the times when it comes to LeBron James. LeBron James is literally like the face of the NBA. Hate him or love him. And by the way, congratulations on now officially becoming a billionaire. Like I said, hate him or love him, the guy knows his business. He knows how to take care of business, and business is taken care of. What is that new saying they got? He understands the assignment. People hate him. PC hate him for another reason. Oh, LeBron, why can't you, shut up and dribble, Laura Ingram, but turn right around? LeBron, can you use your platform to convince people to get the scene? They're weird. These are some goddamn weirdos. But it goes back to what I said on Twitter one time. If y'all follow me on Twitter, they love you when you can benefit them, but they hate you the minute you step off of that square and they don't see you benefiting them at the time or at all. And right now, this is her falling right into that falling off of the square, because they was like, look, they couldn't get it with Sha'Carri because she messed up. She did. It just is what it is. She messed up. She made a mistake. She made amends for it, and she's accepted her faults and her consequences. We'll see you in 4 years, hopefully. They couldn't get it with her. That's why they were mad with her. They thought they could get it with her. They couldn't get it with Naomi because Naomi was representing Japan. Or Tokyo, so they couldn't get Japan. They couldn't get it with her. Simone was their last chance to get a gold medal. And it looks like now it's not going to happen. So now they're even more mad. You can't tell me that's not what it is. And remember, this is the same young lady, the same woman who performed a very impossible maneuver that just became possible because she could do it a few months ago back in May. And I did a video about it and they lowballed her score because she could do it and the other white girls couldn't. Talk about the pure pettiness and utter jealousy and envy. Maybe that could be a reason. Maybe all of this stuff is bottled up, or maybe, I don't know, it's other things. We don't know, but they literally take whatever they can, run with it. They don't even bother to ask the girl or her how she's doing. Have they thought about her mental capacity? No, all they care about is winning. Maybe y'all need to step your shit up, and then maybe because I'm gonna be honest, y'all ain't touching her. But I mean, you can come into a dead last to second place. I mean, it is what it is. And then maybe you can do something. But that's why they always say, too, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that's what they did with her. That's what they did with Sha'Carri Richardson and so many other black athletes. Look at what happened with the NBA team. They can't get a gold medal out of them either. And it's not their fault either. It's because they put together a bad roster. All the good players that they could have put together to make a gold medal winning NBA team, they were not put together as a team. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. So, in my opinion, Team USA this year in the Olympics is a bust on all fronts. And maybe that serves USA right. Considering, we're talking about the black athletes. Look at how Team USA has been acting this last year. Look at what came out of Team USA out of these departments, out of this government. Do they really deserve a gold medal? I don't think so. So it is what it is. But I hope Simone is, she's going to come back home. She's going to, rest, get, maybe go see a therapist or whatever the case may be. Since I and a few others are the only ones that seem to care about her mental capacity and everyone else wants to care about her winning. I mean, how selfish of us, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.